Take a look at these numbers. This is Shedeur Sanders. Against the Bears, he was credited with 19 of his own pressures out of the 30 he faced. This is per PFF. For the season, he's been pressured 64 times, 21 have been credited to him. So it was only two other than the Bears. That's something that they're working to correct, that they have to. That's the whole time to throw. That's why on time is important. It's especially important when you're struggling with the offensive line. It's something that he got in the habit of doing in Colorado because his offensive line was bad, and they're starting to get him out of that. But those are some of the things that you got to work on if you're going to go forward with him. And I'm getting more and more as one of those guys that wants to see more of them.
Well, he has shown enough to make you want to see more. And yeah, I mean that's the million-dollar question again, is he looks like he's taking to coaching and able to do that, but he's got to get rid of the ball quicker. And they have to evaluate, is he going to be able to get rid of the ball, process what he sees, and get rid of the ball quicker, than what he has. He's had a slow time in getting rid of the ball, and you just can't do that in the NFL. So that's the question: is coaching, going to be able to get that corrected? And I would say even Colorado, probably back to Jackson State, he could hang on to the ball because he was more athletic than his opponent and he could make things happen. So that's what they have to that's what they have to work on and decide. And that's really why I think the Browns and other teams didn't look at him as more of a project, a developmental guy. And so the question is, okay, do you see enough that you can continue to develop him in the off season and start next year and get him to the point where he can at least function without making game changing mistakes and give your team a chance by building up the offensive line and the wide receiver room and the weapons around him.
Yeah, I mean, wide receiver, we know the Browns wide receivers are not getting a lot of separation. So that also factors into you add those two things. Your wide receivers aren't getting separation, your offensive line is struggling. There isn't he's processing because there isn't anything that he likes that he sees initially.
Yeah, and so that's where it's the entire process. I don't care who you put back there. It would be interesting if you put, a top echelon quarterback behind this offensive line and with the wide receivers. Would you say, if you took Patrick Mahomes' name off his jersey, and would you say, boy, that guy's terrible, or Joe Burrow or whatever? Or would they make things look good without any weapons out there? So that's what I'm saying. You're trying to evaluate, but you got to look at the whole package. I go back so much to Tim Couch that he had really no weapons around him, and especially on the offensive line. And a lot of people thought he was terrible. And I really don't think that was the case. I just think he never had a chance.